the time that we get to October, Dodgy Dave will have gone and Jeremy Corbyn will be back.
Isn't it convenient that this absent Prime Minister has been able to dodge the real questions of what did he know about criminal activities from Murdoch? When did he know it? And isn't it time, based upon the British public's reaction, that we sent this non-tax-paying Murdoch back from whence he came, and for the final humiliation, get the Secretary of State for Energy to drive him to the airport?
I believe the Queen could take a job at Royal Ascot, looking after the horses, because that's their real bent, and Prince Philip, he could be running a kebab shop in North London.
That's what it is. Let's not kid ourselves. We're here talking about the thing that we sometimes suggest has gone away. Class. That's what it is. It's about class. And it's about the fact that people out there have to live their lives in a different way, and there's one rule for those at the top and there's another for those at the bottom. It's never changed. I wish it had, but it hasn't. When he wrote off the mortgage of the premises in Notting Hill, and I said to him he didn't write off the mortgage of the one the taxpayers were helping to pay for at Oxford. I didn't receive a proper answer then. Maybe Dodgy Dave will answer it now. And by the way,
Order. I must ask the honourable gentleman, order. I don't require any assistance from some junior minister. An absurd proposition. I invite the honourable gentleman to withdraw that adjective that he used a moment ago. He's perfectly capable of asking his question without using that word. It is up to him, but if he doesn't wish to withdraw it, I can't reasonably ask the Prime Minister to answer the question. All he has to do is withdraw that word and think of another. Sorry? I think he knows the word beginning with D and ending in Y that he inappropriately used.
Davy. Dodgy, put it slowly.
Withdraw.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Very simple. Withdraw.
This man has done more to divide this nation than anybody else. He's looked after his own pocket. I still refer to him as Dodgy Dave. Do what you like.
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G.
Snoop Dogg. I order the honourable member to withdraw immediately from the House for the remainder of this day's sitting.
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G.
Snoop Dogg.
Adam, he knew all about technology. Wasn't just Concorde, you know. He knew about it. He could probably have built it. He had a mobile phone before anybody else, and he's talking a language that I still don't understand. He could have built a computer. Yeah, he was very knowledgeable, except he didn't know much about competitive sport. I finished up at the Labour Party conference, I think it was down at Brighton. He says, "You're late." I said, "I know I'm late, Tony. There was a reason." He says, "Yes, it was a Tory mayor and you didn't want to be here." I said, "Well, that's part of it." I said, "But the most important reason is that I'm watching Cram and Elliott on the telly, in the mile of the century, as they said." He says, "Cram and Elliott, are they your delegates?" I said, "Tony, Tony asks, do you know Ayrton Senna? Because I watched him win the Formula One. Ayrton Senna, who's he? I mean, you had to like somebody like that. Somebody that kept all the lists of all the results of everything. You didn't have to go far to find out. Now we look for things on the computer and I could ask Tony Benn and he would tell me. So, I had a lot of enjoyable times with him. And he was industrious, he was clever, he was a great diarist. He had a lot of qualities that all of us in our hearts really admire, don't we? And wish we possessed them all.
Why is it that the top spinner in number 10 Downing Street learnt his trade in the phone tapping News of the World run by Murdoch? Surely, if this murky affair rumbles on, will the Prime Minister come and make a statement relieving Coulson of his job?
Our allies to develop joint policy in this area.
Every constituency is now capable of taking on the Tories and beating them. I mean, let's face it, Dodgy Davis gone. And it's been replaced by tedious Theresa. She's so boring, it's unbelievable. Are you telling me that these people here and me and Jeremy combined with the BBC Radio 4 can't get rid of tedious Theresa's army? Small army. We've got the biggest army in Britain. In any prelude to a war, to be sure of your allies and to be sure of the objectives. Isn't it a fact that Turkey has been buying oil from ISIL? They used Turkish trucks to store it. They've been bombing the Kurds and the Kurds are fighting ISIL. They shot down a Russian jet even though Russia is wanting to fight ISIL. He has got an objective to get rid of Assad. A Russian ally has got the opposite objective. What a crazy war. Enemies to the right of us, enemies to the left of it. Keep out. But in the 70s and in a lot of the 80s, we would have thanked our lucky stars in the coalfield areas to have got a growth of 1.75%. The only thing that was growing then were the lines of coke in front of Boy George and the rest of the toilet.
In that breaking news, then, Dennis Skinner has said that he has not been approached for a job by Jeremy Corbyn and would not take a job by Jeremy Corbyn, a line that he has held consistently.
No, I told Jeremy Corbyn before.
There you go.
Well, that was spinning. That was an example of spinning. Because you were trying to imply that I'd turned it down.
No, that was a joke.
Well,
that's
I think
all
it's
it was.
time
It was a joke.
that you got real and you understood that you're not working for Murdoch at the BBC because you seem to be following the same pattern.
Dennis Skinner, thanks for clarifying that.
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G.
Snoop Dogg!